The Department of National Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana welcomed Defense Minister Linda Reynolds after arriving at the Villamor Air Base, Pasay City Thursday 22 October 2020, for official bilateral meeting with Secretary Lorenzana. Secretary Lorenzana thanked the Government of Australia for continued support to the Philippines' efforts to contain COVID-19 global pandemic. The Department of National Defense said through spokesperson Arsenio Andalong released statement on Friday saying, and I quote, "Discussions focused on the coronavirus disease 2019 with the Secretary of National Defense expressing appreciation for Australia's $1 million Australian support for the expansion of the infectious diseases ward of the Victoriano Luna Medical Centre as well as the donation of $2 million Australian in medical and personal protective equipment that will capacitate hospitals under the AFP Health Service Command. This gesture of support is anchored on the Enhanced Defence Cooperation Programme, which expanded the defence cooperation between the two countries following Australia's contributions to the Philippines' counter-terrorism efforts." It was highlighted that preparations for Philippines-Australia activities next year have continued and that such activities will be conducted once conditions allow, subject to the approval of Philippine and Australian authorities, unquote. Defense Minister Linda Reynolds posted a statement on her Instagram account saying, and I quote, "A warm and productive bilateral meeting with my friend Philippines Secretary of National Defense Delfin Lorenzana during my first official visit to the Philippines as Defense Minister. We discussed our Enhanced Defense Cooperation Program, our respective contributions to regional security, and our COVID-19 responses and cooperation. I was pleased to provide additional assistance in support of the armed forces of the Philippines' COVID-19 response. This includes a further $2 million Australian of medical and personal protective equipment to support the infectious disease wards at the Armed Forces of the Philippines' 5 main medical centers across the country," unquote. The bilateral meeting between the two defense chiefs followed a previous meeting at the sidelines of the 6th ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting Plus in Thailand in November 2019 as well as a virtual meeting last May. Both countries, the Philippines and Australia, have been able to sustain and further enhance the two countries' defense relations despite COVID-19 global pandemic through the virtual defense and military dialogue. Secretary Delfin Lorenzana reaffirmed support for Australia's co-chairmanship of the ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting Plus Experts Working Group on Military Medicine with Brunei Darussalam. Secretary Lorenzana and Australia's Defence Minister Linda Reynolds both agreed on the importance of maintaining the freedom of navigation and overflight in the West Philippine Sea, and remained compliant with the international law, especially the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. The Secretary of National Defence expressed appreciation for Australia's support for ASEAN centrality and lauded Australia's 2020 vision for defence engagements with the ASEAN regional bloc. End.